Hi students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In the previous video, you have learnt about the force on a current carrying conductor kept in a magnetic field. And when I talked about that, I also told you this is the principle for electric motor. Today we are going to see electric motor in detail. So what is electric motor? It is a mechanical device. It's a device which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. So electrical energy will be converted into mechanical energy. So this motor finds a lot of applications in our daily life. You see your fan running, it runs with motor. Grinder, motor is there. Washing machine, motor is there. All small toys, motor is there. And most of you would have played with this motor in your small early age. So what we do, we take from our small cars, we take out that motor and it looks something like this. If I just draw a rough diagram, it looks something like this. And from here one small pin will come out and backside we will have two hooks. If we connect some battery to this, then we can see it starts rotating. In childhood we used to keep some fan or something and we used to create some. This was a very fascinating thing in our childhood. So everyone or most of you would have played with this electric motor at least once in their lifetime. So what is that motor, how it works, what is the principle of that, we are going to see today. So as I said you, it is a device which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. What is the principle of electric motor? Already I have said you. The principle of electric motor is that whenever a current carrying conductor is kept in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. So please make a note of it. The principle is whenever a current carrying conductor is kept in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. Why it experiences a force? I have told you in the previous class that when two magnetic fields interact with each other, there is a force acting on the conductor. So now next thing is parts of electric motor. So see, whenever this question comes in school examination, you must write what the motor is, what is its principle, what is its part, what is the working, and then uses. This question may come in board exams also for 5 mark. So you should write all these sequence. You should write what is a motor, what is the principle of it, what are the parts of it, how it is working, and what are the uses. So what are the parts of electric motor? Well, let us see. So parts of electric motor is, this is a magnet. This is called as armature. Then we have commutator. Then we have brushes. And then we have DC power source. We also call the whole arrangement as an axle. Suppose if I draw a line here, this will be the axle which is connected with the armature. These are the parts of electric motor. We have magnet, preferably permanent magnet. I will tell you when we use electromagnets also. Generally it is a permanent magnet. Armature is a coil which is present inside this magnet. Then we have brushes, we have commutator, and we have a DC power source. These are the parts of electric motor. Now let me talk about the working of electric motor, which is the most important thing. So please listen very carefully. Each of my word will make a difference here. So you need to be very much listening to me carefully in order to understand what is electric motor. So what happens when you keep this armature in this magnetic field, then there will be a magnetic field produced. From where to where? From north to south. So there will be a magnetic field in this direction. I hope you can understand this magnetic field direction. So there is a magnetic field produced in this direction. Now if you see here, DC power source, it is connected with brushes. These brushes are stationary in nature. They cannot move. They are stationary. And these brushes are connected with this two commutator. It is in the case of motor, we use split ring type commutator. Split ring. Split ring type commutator means there will be two rings which will be splitted, like two C's, I will say, opposite side, like this. It's like this. But they two are not attached, they are little separated from each other. So we have split ring type commutator. This commutator in turn is attached with the armature which goes inside the magnet, which is present inside the magnetic field. Now if you see properly, this is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal. The current starts from positive, goes here enters in this, and enters from A, B, B to C, C to D, and comes out like this, comes out from D and comes here, and the circuit is completed. So how the current is flowing? Current is flowing in a direction A, B, C, D. I hope you are understanding. It is flowing from A to B, B to C, C to D, and comes out like this. Or if you want to be very, very specific, I will write X, A, B, C, D, Y. X, A, B, C, D, Y is more specific way of writing how the current is moving. Now, when the current is moving inside this coil or armature, and there is already a magnetic field present in the region, there are two magnetic fields. One is the magnetic field created by this commutator, by this armature, and one is the magnetic field already present because of the magnets present here. So these two will interact, and there will be a force start acting on this conductor. Let us see how this force will act. So if you see AB branch, so I am talking only about AB now. So out of this ABCD, I am going to talk only about AB now. Then I will talk about CD separately. So what happens to this AB branch? The current is going in this direction. The magnetic field is in this direction. So when you want to find the direction of force, you must use Fleming's left hand rule. I have told in the previous class. So Fleming's left hand rule says that stretch your forefinger, middle finger and thumb mutually perpendicular to each other in such a way that the forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, middle finger gives the direction of current, then thumb will automatically give the direction of force. So here the direction of magnetic field is like this and direction of current is like this, and if I use my Fleming's left hand rule, I find that AB is pulled downwards like this. So all of you can try at home also that AB will be pulled downwards. Let us see on CD. CD, the direction of current is opposite. In AB it goes like this, CD is in this direction. Apply the same rule. So now the current direction is like this, magnetic field is in this direction. So what will happen? CD branch or CD part of this armature will be acted upon by a upward force. So CD is acted upon by a upward force, whereas AB is acted upon by downward force. So suppose these two forces acts on this armature, what will happen? Suppose this is AB and this is CD. AB is pulled down, CD is pulled up, it will move like this, starts moving like this. Moves till it reaches here. The moment it reaches here, the scene changes. You see here, I have drawn one second diagram for you. So when it moves and completes half a rotation, then this becomes D and this is C, this is B and this is A. Now AB came on this side and CD went on that side, because see, it has from here, it started and it came like this. So now AB, which was present here, went on this side, CD is present here, came on the opposite side, right. So when it happened, we know that AB branch was having a downward force, CD branch was having upward force. But the moment it takes half a rotation, things will change. How it will change? You see, the P commutator, I told commutators will move, it will also move along with armature. Now P commutator moved and came to Y side. So this became P and this became Q, isn't it? Now P came here and Q came here. So Q branch is attached to X. So how the current started flowing now? After this is the first half of the rotation. Now I get the second half of the rotation. Let us see what happens in second half. So second half, the current, it moves how? Let us see that. This was D, this was C, this was B and this was A. So now the current starts moving in this direction, isn't it? So CD branch starts getting current in this direction, whereas AB in this direction. So whereas here CD was getting in this direction, now CD got in this direction. AB was getting in this direction, now AB is getting in the opposite direction. So this change in direction, how it will help you see. Now once again, the direction of magnetic field remains same, and when you apply the Fleming's left hand rule on CD branch, it will be pulled downwards and AB will be put upwards. So what we came to know, that this was the armature A, B, C and D. After half rotation, AB came here, CD came here. Those CDs acted upon by upward force up to here. Suddenly when it reaches at this point, it acts upon by downward force. So it rotates like this. So this keeps on happening and the motor moves like this. Suppose I don't have this split ring type of commutator and this thing directly attaches to the carbon brush, then what will happen, you know, it will go in one direction another direction. One direction, a direction. So if you want the complete rotation of the armature to happen, you must have a proper split ring type commutator attached with the brushes, because that is only responsible for changing the polarity of the current. Please see this video again and again to have a clarity over this, because students will find it very confusing. I have tried to tell you in the most easiest way. If you still have doubt, please go back and see the video once again. That will help you in understanding how this electric motor works. So now we understood, with the help of this arrangement of armature kept in a magnetic field and the attachment of split ring type commutator and carbon brushes, the motor works, and when it starts moving, it is converting the electrical energy given by the DC source into mechanical energy. And when the mechanical energy, which is attached like this in the outside, whatever want you can use. Like for example, we are using fan. So fan, when the current goes, it starts moving, the fan starts rotating like this, grinder starts rotating like this, the washing machine rotates like this. So wherever you want this kind of rotatory force or mechanical force, we go for this kind of motors. Now you can ask me, what are the uses of this motor? So next I am going to tell you what is the uses of this motor. So electric motors, just now I said it is used in grinders, it is used in fans, it is used in washing machines, it is used in toys to make. One more thing is there called as commercial motor. In exams they will generally ask you that what is a commercial motor, how is commercial motor different from normal domestic motors. So commercial motors are used in the industries where they want to move heavy things. So there what they do, they don't use this permanent magnets. Here I have used permanent magnets because we have studied in the previous session that permanent magnets don't produce very strong magnetic field. What produces? Yeah, solenoid. So we want to create some artificial magnet which can produce heavy magnetic field. So we use electromagnets. So first point of commercial motor is that electromagnets are used instead of permanent magnets. So first point of difference between commercial motor and DC motor, normal motor, is that commercial motor uses electromagnets, whereas domestic motors uses permanent magnets. The second point of difference between commercial motor and domestic motor is that in commercial motor the number of windings will be more. When I say the windings, it is the number of turns what the armature is having. So even in domestic motor, though I have taken only one turn here, there will be n number of turns. In the case of commercial motors, these turns will be very high in number. So second difference between commercial motor and domestic motor is that number of windings will be very high in case of commercial motor. Third point of difference between commercial motor and domestic motor is linked with the strong magnetic field. When I talked about solenoid, I told you that when you keep a soft iron core inside a solenoid, then the magnetic field increases. Here we need more magnetic field if you want to apply more force on the armature. So what we do, we use soft iron core inside the armature in the case of commercial motor. Why we do that? When we give a soft iron core inside the armature, then the magnetic field increases, and when the magnetic field increases, its force also which acts on the armature increases. So your armature can rotate more efficiently. So what we came to know, that the main areas of difference between commercial motor and domestic motor is linked with the electromagnet being used in commercial motor, number of windings being higher in commercial motors, and soft iron core is used in addition to the windings in commercial motor. All these things are done to increase the efficiency of this commercial motor. So today what we have learned about electric motor. I told you what is an electric motor, what is its principle, what are the parts of electric motor, what is the working of electric motor, and what are the uses of electric motor. I also talked about commercial motor to you. It is a very important topic with respect to the school examination. So please read it, see the video multiple times if you have doubt in how this works, and then in next class I will discuss about electromagnetic detection. Please like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.